trying to think of an example that would y'all would know.
Alright, so
Yeah.
there's actually 6 of them.
Anybody else have questions? Half of my group is getting home. That's not a question, that's a comment. I'm a little bit. I have, here at the range, I have 3. Shadrach, BB, and Star. Those are horses. 3 of them in there. The rest of them are horses.
Yep, they're tied.
Oh, I have a total of 25 horses. Now, Pine Cove in general, like here, the Bluffs, all of our camps that have barns, we have about 125 horses. Yes. Yes, 125 horses is a lot of horses. Anybody else have horse questions? What about him? Pointing at you, calling you a horse, I think. He looks like a tiger. He's not a horse. He's an orange and black zebra. Tigers don't meow, they roar. They're tigers. All right, more horse questions. Who wants to know something about horses? I don't know. I'm sure there's a horse that's the tallest horse ever, but I don't know what it is. Claire, tallest horse ever? Tallest horse ever? All right, so this will help you. That makes sense. So hands are measured the equivalent of 4 inches now. So a hand equals 4 inches. So a horse with over 20 hands would be 20 times 4 inches. So that's a tall horse. Do you think there's 12 inches in a foot?
There's one, like, it was rumored, but that was back when they had photography.
What? I can't hear you.
There was one horse they supposed was the tallest horse ever, but it was back before they had photography, so there's no proof of it.
Right.
Go back there. Very good. That way, so the new record's like 25 hands.
That's still ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. The tallest horse I ever seen was 20 hands.
Hello, Tyler. For instance, this will tell you how
Say hi,
tall
Ty.
20 plus hands actually is. So Claire, that's Claire by the way.
Top of my head.
Claire has a horse named Noah, who you said was what, 17.2?
Yep.
So Noah is 17.2 hands, all right? So Noah, if I'm standing flat-footed right next to Noah, his withers, which are kind of that high point on his back, right where the front of the saddle sits, his withers come up to about right here on me. So I'm 6'1". So that means Noah at his withers is about, well, he's basically the same height as I am. But if he raises his head, then he's ridiculously taller than me, and there's nothing I can do about it. So a horse that is 20 plus hands is like right up to here. At his withers. And he's a tall horse. Yes, you on the end.
How old are these horses?
The age of the horses varies, obviously, from horse to horse. My youngest horse here is not that young. It's, let me think. I'm trying to think of all my horses. My youngest horse is probably like 7 or 8. My oldest horse is like 26. So to put that in kind of perspective, the average age for a horse in captivity, which is what we do, we take care of the horses that are in captivity. The average age for a horse in captivity is between 25 to 35. So a horse that's 26 years old is an older horse, I guess, towards the end of his life. Whereas a horse that's 6 or 7 is still considered an adult horse. By that point, they're full grown, but they're still young. But they're not like a baby. Yes. we all, it doesn't necessarily work like that. A lot of times the horses are pretty capable of taking care of themselves with certain things. Like, the horses don't come into the barn every day. Only when we have rides, so like horses like y'all are here. And so on those days that the horses aren't, they're out in the pasture where they have water, grass, and hay. And we pretty much don't mess with them until we need to bring them back in. But there are certain horses that really do certain things. I don't really have any special horses that do special things here.
What are they doing for dinner?
She thinks chicken parmesan.
Like, there are some that need certain medicines from time to time because they get sick, or
That's one of the things I
like
cook.
horses, just like people can develop a cough. And so sometimes you have to give horses a horse version of cough medicine. There's horse versions of different painkillers.
That's my wife. She said that's why she could marry me.
Other horse medicines.
Like chicken parmesan.
They're not warm necessarily, but they're not cold like y'all are. One, they're horses, so they're big animals, and their body temperature overall is warmer than ours. But they also have, during the winter, the horses are really fluffy now. So they grow a winter coat during the winter, and during the summer, they still have hair, but it's not nearly as thick as fluffy. And so they're probably not the most comfortable they've ever been, but they're not like freezing either. And the thing about horses is the more they're moving around and the more they're eating, the warmer it actually helps the horse stay. Not here, but I live like a half mile down the road, so I might as well live here. Not quite in Tyler. Like, my house is, if you were up in a tall tree, you could probably see my house.
I'm excited to watch it. I'll watch next year.
Horse ever? My grumpiest horse is probably...
You gonna ride the horse?
The horse that shows his being grumpy the most is probably Rascal, which is why his name is Rascal. He just... Rascal, like Little Rascals, you know?